So when your contraction ends, there is this lovely period of rest time. But what to do during the rest time, really, I like to think of it in two categories. So we've got rest during the rest time and prepare during the rest time. I want you to make the most of this rest time so that you will be ready when the next contraction starts. And if you haven't watched my video on what to do during the contraction, I am going to put a link up here and a link at the end. Make sure that you watch that one next because they go together perfectly. Now, if we haven't met yet, my name is Alice Turner. I am a certified doula, a Lamaze certified childbirth educator, and here on this channel, I make videos to help you have confidence before the contraction starts. Now, if you're on board with this mission, then make sure you subscribe. So even though we're always talking about what to do during a contraction, the rest phase really is a lot of our labor. And I have 8 actions, specific practical actions that I'm going to share with you so that you will know how to make the most out of this rest period. I drew out a very common contraction pattern. Now, I drew out the 5-1-1 pattern. This is the pattern that a lot of our healthcare providers want us to go to the hospital during this labor pattern. What this means is that we have contractions that are 5 minutes apart. So you see the bumps here. These are our contractions. They are 5 minutes apart, 1, 0, and then 5. They last for 1 minute long. And then this pattern goes for 1 hour. That's what 5-1-1 means. So as you can clearly see, the rest time here is 4 full minutes, and our contraction is just 1 minute. So we're talking about what are we going to do during that whole 4-minute period. So we're tackling rest. Let's talk about rest. Number 1, what we can do during these contractions is just breathe. Just calm our breath down. We can sometimes take a big giant inhale and exhale and just reset into kind of a normal breathing pattern. When we're having the contraction, we might be doing long, slow breaths. We might be doing a pattern breathing, but in between contractions, something really great to focus on is just getting your breath back to normal. So that's our first action that we can do. Our next one is thinking about, if we're resting, kind of relaxing our entire body. So I like to suggest a check-in with our muscles, kind of a body scan. Where are we holding tension? Where can we be more aware of being limp and loose when the next contraction comes? So kind of doing a body scan, moving our body and kind of looking for any tight areas. Also, I like to just say, shake it out, kind of regroup, just sort of, move those arms and just kind of shake everything out so that our bodies are ready for that nice, restful time in between our contractions. And then that last thing is to resume distracting activities, which can be very restful. So, that often means chatting with your partner, maybe even watching TV, watching your favorite movie, playing cards. There are all sorts of things, distracting activities that people do in between contractions. And if this seems really weird to you, I totally understand. It often surprises people how restful the rest can be. When I'm working with families, sometimes I'll have partners that say, in between the contractions, it just feels like a normal day. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how it is. So let's just kind of treat it as a restful, normal day. And that will really allow us to have that relaxation and that rest. Now, let's talk about prepare. There are a few active things to do that are more active than what we talked about with rest that helps us prepare for the next contractions and also helps us kind of set up our labor so it can keep progressing. And one of the things to help keep your labor progressing is to stay hydrated. So in between contractions, this is a great time for our partners to hand us a bottle of water with a straw usually, or something, an easy way that we can just take a quick sip in between contractions. We don't want to try to drink water during contractions. So in between contractions, we're going to take those sips. Great time to do that. Also, it's a great time, since we're getting all the water in, we need to get the water out, if you know what I mean. We need to go to the bathroom. So it's a great time to take a quick trip to the bathroom. Now, just note, if your contraction pattern is coming closer than this pattern, so if your rest time is shorter, then as soon as you are down off of this contraction here, you are going to want to giddy up and go to the bathroom quickly. A lot of times I will talk to my clients and say, hey, after that next contraction, let's go ahead and go to the bathroom. And so they know as soon as that contraction ends, it's time to start moving and get ourselves to the bathroom so that we can make it either back to our position or make it off the toilet if we don't want to labor on the toilet, which is not a bad thing, but if you don't want to, get yourself back during that rest period. It's also a great time to change our positions. So we don't want to change positions during contraction. That doesn't work well. What we want to do in between contractions, if it's been about 15, 20, 30 minutes in one position, it's a great time to change things up. Changing things up is going to help keep our labor progressing. So it's a good time to say, okay, we've been sitting on the ball. Why don't we move to a forward lean? Or we're in a forward lean. Why don't we do some slow dance? So changing the positions is an awesome thing to do in between contractions. And just so you know, this is not like a one action during the rest time only kind of a thing. You can probably get several of these done. You can definitely take a sip of water, regulate your breathing, change positions. So we have options to do multiple things during our rest period. The last thing I love during that rest time is for our partner to, I wrote in my notes, pump us up, to encourage us. Our partners, this is a great time to have those encouraging words, to say something that you know or you think you know that your partner would find helpful, beneficial. It can be super short, like, wow, that was a great contraction. You're doing awesome. I'm so proud of you. Can't wait to meet our baby. Anything that is positive is a great time to throw that in during the contraction. Hey, hand over that water just as you're saying you're doing an awesome job. So we have 8 great things to do during rest time. Partners, my tip for you is to remember these and help facilitate that these happen during rest time. And then as I mentioned, I have a great video on what to do during the contractions so that they can make the most progress on your cervix during the contraction. So make sure you check out that video. I know you're going to like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.